office? Wait. CAO, they'll do that. All right. Good morning and welcome to the Jobs and Business Development Committee for Wednesday, January 11th, 2012. We're here in the John Ferraro Council Chamber, room 340, City Hall, and it's 9 a.m. a little bit afterwards. We are expecting Mr. Labange. Mr. Parks is out today. We just have a short agenda. It's a two-item agenda. But let's go first to public comment. Do we have any public comment? General public comment? Nope. All right. Let's take item number one then.
Item number one is a verbal report from the Mayor's Office and the CAO relative to the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 Program Expenditure Update and the review of the revised LA Recovery website.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Councilmember Tyler Munhall with the CAO. I'll give you a few bullets before covering the website.
Great.
We're reporting as of October 31st, we were 63% expended as far as our funds go. The city has, those funds have generated 5.5 million hours of work, which is equivalent to about a little over 1,100 full-time jobs annually.
More than annually, for at least for here it says for 2.33 years, or annually for that period of time.
If you annualize it, so you take all the hours, because we've been going for about 2.25 years.
Right.
On an annual basis, about 1,100 jobs.
Gotcha.
A couple other points. We're in the midst of our quarterly OMB reporting. We expect all of the projects to report on time. We've never missed a deadline on that yet, so that should be done this week. There is a deadline to expend these funds by September 2013. However, there are two projects that were designed to have a longer time frame than that, and they are the Smart Grid program at DWP and the LA RICS Regional Interoperability Communication System. Both of those are expected to get extensions or exceptions to that deadline.
And does that happen ministerially from the appropriate federal departments, or who has the authority for that?
OMB will, the Office of Management and Budget will probably authorize.
And they have the authority to do that ministerially without Congress?
Yes.
Okay.
Some good news, the Department of Transportation has taken possession of the 16 CNG commuter buses.
So those are up and running now? Or
those are up and running now. And I don't know if you heard about this, but the California State Senate Energy Committee, led by Senator Alex Padilla, held a hearing last month in LA regarding DWP's weatherization program. There were some issues with that program in terms of meeting the program objectives and expenditures. The good news is DWP has ramped up and will be meeting its program goals and expenditures, and the department's here if you have any further questions on that. Finally, Jim Clark has a new position in the mayor's office, which is director of the mayor's office of grants. He's still point on ARA. The website is complete. It actually has been. There's been some administrative issues in getting the vendor paid. Those are being resolved, and we expect the vendor to be paid this week or early next week, which then will allow the city to make the website go live.
So it's not live yet?
It's not live yet.
So it will be live, hopefully,
next week.
Next week at recovery.lacity.org.
There is the old website is still up.
Okay, got it. How much did that website cost? Do we know?
I'm not sure. The mayor's office led that. I can find out.
One of the things thank you for the update. One of the things in the accompanying sheet shows CRA having about 165,000, I think, in committed but not spent monies, or 162,995. What is that for? Is that for the commercial weatherization program?
There's two. They had 4 projects. 2 of those were moved to CDD, and I'm sorry I don't have the list of projects in front of me.
That's on a relatively tight time frame, obviously, because of our discussion on the redevelopment agency.
Right.
And if it ceases to exist or we're not a part of it, what happens to that stimulus money is important. So
we'll look at this.
Okay.
And figure out where that should go.
If you can get me that information sometime during council, I think we'll have a long council meeting, but I think I just want to make sure that isn't a loose end that we forget about.
Yeah, it's easily available.
Okay.
So.
All right. And the status update on the Community Development Block Grant Recovery Program. Can you give us any further information on that? It's the CDBGR. It's the supplemental CDBG funds. Have those all? I think we're looking at
There's
only 14 million of 102 million haven't been spent. Oh no, sorry, vice versa. 87 million of 102. So we have about $15 million of that left over. Is that true?
Are you?
I don't know. I just took
Are you
that out of the
looking at
community development.
the big spreadsheet?
Yeah, and it might not.
That includes more than just CDBGR. It's
Okay.
it's everything that's at CDD. If you want a CDBGR breakdown, I can get you that.
Yeah, if we could have a status update on CDBGR, be
Okay.
curious to find out where we are on that.
Okay.
And in terms of the energy efficiency and conservation block grant, we can't hear. How are we doing? We're on track. Are we gonna spend out by the deadline? That's the main thing that's come up in committee. And I know you've taken your time to be here, but I'll save your day in testimony. Let the record reflect they said yes from the audience. Okay, good. We just want to keep track on that, and thank you.
CDD. I talked to them this
Yep.
week, and they expect ECBG to spend out.
To spend out. Good. Okay. If for any reason it is behind, can we make sure we schedule that in committee too to keep on top of that? Okay. Any questions on the general stuff, Mr. Lamont?
Just a couple of questions. I was looking through my paperwork here. There's a list of what are called capital improvement projects. Have you ever seen, like, they break them down by council district? There used to be a book, but Mr. Reardon got rid of the book. It was called the Capital Improvements Book. Does anybody remember the Capital Improvements Book? Predates everybody. Anyway, I would like to take that book, now it still could, it was an actual book that they printed, and he felt if it's not going to happen, don't print it, just get the jobs done. And that was Mr. Reardon, which was positive. But at the same time, there's a guide out of a book that shows everything. Do we have a room in the city hall that has every project listed from parks to street lighting to water and power to harbor to airport? Do we have I don't like to use the term war room, but design room, or whatever we call it? And can we possibly, I'd like to, Mr. Garcetti, maybe you and I, I think it's the 6th floor, there's a floor above, but planning has that room. There's a room right up here that we should just meet with you and your team to make sure. There's Prop K jobs sitting there that can't get out on the street for a number of reasons. Jobs is what Mr. Garcetti is all about in this committee to try, and everybody is, the mayor and all council. So I think it would be incumbent upon us, if I could maybe meet with you sometime and then come back to the committee, and that we just put everything up there, that you see what's planned, and see if we could expedite any to get people working. Okay, because I don't think there's one, you're a city administrative officer. I don't think there's one place, and there used to be, it was the office of Ron Deaton, and it was in his mind that he had all that stuff going on. Mr. Miller does a fabulous job in the CLA, Vach and the whole team, but that's on our side. On the CAO side, too, it was structured a little differently. So I think it's incumbent upon us to do that. And I'm looking, and before the end of this meeting, I may have this, I just grabbed this stack of paper, have that draft to show you what I'm talking about. For my district, which I'm sure there's one for Mr. Garcetti's and the 13 other council people, but all of that. So it'd be good. And I did meet with Dr. Nats at the harbor, and it's tremendous what they're doing there, and they're organized. There's a lot of energy happening there, and we should know about that because that's the job driver for so many other good things. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If there's no public comment on this? Nope. Okay. Thank you. We'll go to item number 2, and I will hand it over to Mr. Labange, who is the maker of the motion.
United States Post
Why
Office.
don't we announce what it
All
is?
right.
Item number 2 is a motion, Labange Garcetti, relative to the economic impact of the United States Post Office planned closures of mail processing centers and local post offices in the city, as well as a potential job displacement of the postal employees.
Great. And is any representatives here yet for the Postal Service? Did we hear for the Postal Service?
No.
Okay, good. We did reach out. Did we mail it to them or did we call them?
I emailed them.
Ken, you emailed them. Oh, that's why. They don't look
That's
at
the
email.
problem.
That's the problem. We're going to hold this, Mr. Garcetti.
Okay.
I think we should look at it.
I mean,
In every,
approving the motion, ask for the report back. So then
got it. We'll approve the motion.
Okay.
We'll approve the motion. Go forward. Every neighborhood has a postal office.
Yep.
And what's happening, let's just say if they do consolidate it, how ready are we to transform that land? So good. Super. All right, let's approve it.
Okay. All right, we'll
thank
come
you.
back and we'll work on that and see if we can get contact with the post office as well. Okay, thank you. Short meeting. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Super.